I'd say now, if you've got the OEM tyres on, and you think, oh, you'll get a good few thousand more on them, yeah, don't bother. Chuck them in the bin and put some T31s on. Even if you've got an EX and you don't get it converted to tubeless, just put a T31 on with a tube. What a difference that makes to that bike. So I'm using Bart Factory to convert my wheels. So here's the website, bartfactory.com, and they do lots of different bikes. I can get the tubeless conversion done. I can get tubeless conversion done plus new spokes, or new spokes and a new rim. That's specifically for the CB1100. There's one last thing they do. They do new hubs. You can see these hubs here, but they don't do that for the CB1100. For the CB1100. So all I do is, okay, products, Bart tubeless. Here we are. And yep, that's what we're doing. Just getting rid of the tube. So I'll send it off to them. And that's what this thing's going to look like. So it's 110 euros a wheel. That's including the VAT. And you can download a catalogue here to see if your bike's included. But look, pretty much any bike that's a spoked wheel bike that isn't already tubeless, they'll cover it. So all I have to do is take my wheels, send them off to them, they'll get it done and ship them back to me. How to fix them, some details there about how to fix them and stuff like that. But I have another video on specifically on just the Bart tubeless process there, so I won't go into too much detail here about that. I can tell you now, the whole process took about it took about 4 weeks. So yeah, something to do when you don't need your bike, that's for sure. So I've got to take these wheels off and get the tyres off the rims, because I don't want to send the tyres, it'll just be more postage cost. So I've got to get these wheels off. So let's start the tubeless journey. I don't have a bike ramp, so it's old car jacks and clean kitchen mates to the rescue. I'll stick those under there so I don't ruin my engine bars. So let's get the clean kitchen mate in, and then we'll start taking the front wheel off. Cool, number one. Excellent. The hex 6 for these pinch bolts. Yeah, that didn't take much. Wow, they were real easy. Now, as ever, I'm just taking a good video of where everything is, where all the spaces are, what the thing looks like. So when I reassemble this and something's not quite right, I can go back and look at this video and say, aha, I got the spaces the wrong way around, or something like that. I'm not too sure if I need to take the mudguard off to take that wheel off. I don't think I do. I'll leave it on for now, but we'll see how we get along. 22mm on this axle bolt. Now, do I have to hold that the other side? Yes, I do, because the whole spindle is spinning. So there's a nice chunky socket the other side. So I need to find something for that. Okay. Well, that was awkward. I didn't have a hex for this, so it's just spinning the other side. So I found in my toolkit a small bolt extractor, and it just so happens the hex head on that is the right size. So instead of using it as a bolt extractor, where are you? Instead of using it as a bolt extractor, I'll just put my spanner on there. Excellent. Right, I've just got a pair of mole grips on that extractor, the other side. So now, and I've shortened this That's the job. Yeah, just needed a few turns. Excellent. I need to just push this axle out. So I'm going to put a few more threads back in. Yeah, that's the job. That's coming out nice and easy actually. Right, a vehicle supported. Jesus, vehicle. My bike is supported. Just make sure those stands are in good order. Yeah, all good. Handy little hole there. Too easy, too easy. Right, you can see that spacer there, that spacer there. This wheel's going to come out very easily. Now, I say that, but that fender is just touching it ever so slightly. So rather than force stuff or try and push the suspension up, I'm going to take that fender off. I've just noticed another thing. The two calipers, there's not enough gap between them to get the wheel off. So I'm going to have to take one or both off. So, okay, I tried the shortcut. Now I've got to do it properly. Right, caliper bolts off. Well, they haven't been off in a while. Maybe never. Wouldn't know. You always find out these little things the first time you do anything, taking off wheels or sprockets, or find out what's dependent on what. So, cool. Now maybe I can still get away without taking this mudguard off. Let's see. I can. Hooray. So, wheel off. Cool. That's holding. What I will do is I'll put something underneath the fork legs as well, just to double down. Have a look at my brake pads on them here. Yeah, as I thought, loads of wear on there. You can see those wear indicators? Absolutely. See those wear indicators there? Those little cutting lines, tons of wear left on those. And it give me a chance to give it a clean in there while I'm at it. So, I needn't have taken, well, I didn't take the fender off. That's great. I keep saying fender, mudguard. Now, to avoid any confusion, I've taken the spacers out of the wheel and I'm going to put them back on in the way they were, because they could be, yeah, they're two different sizes. Now there's a good few mil difference there, but I put them back on the way they should be, because who knows when I'll get this front wheel back on. It could be several weeks from now and I'll never remember, and it'll be a bit of an arse putting it back together. Sometimes these spacers can be just be, say, 0.5 mil difference, and you're really wondering why something's going funny wrong at the front. In this instance, they're actually quite a bit different, these spacers, so it'd be hard to get them mixed up. So now I have my wheel. These tyres, I have some tyre irons, but I'm really reluctant to take these off myself. I don't know how stiff these things are or not. I'm really reluctant to take them off myself. I've got a feeling I'll scratch this rim to shit. So I'm going to take it down to a tyre dealer and get them to take them off for me. And when I go to put it back on, notice here's my ABS ring. If you can't remember which way around, well, apart from looking at your tyre for an arrow on it, look, here's my ABS ring sensor. Yeah, my ABS ring sensor is on the inside here. So I know when I come to put this wheel back on that this is on the right hand side of the bike. Now these are being shipped off to Italy, so there's no point in shipping the wheels back with the brake discs on them. So I'll remove these, and I won't get these the wrong way around because of the ABS sensor ring, so I'll know which disc went on which side, plus they're arrowed. You'll notice as well that all these discs, if they're any decent quality anyway, will have a minimum thickness written on them. So this one here probably won't come out in the light. So it's saying 3.5mm minimum thickness. So you can always measure these with a caliper, and that's when you know when to replace it. That's when you know when to replace your disc. Right, if I was leaving these here, I'd leave these screwed in, but because they're going away, I'll leave them out with my disc. So that's my left side disc off. I just have to take the ABS ring off. I have to take my ABS ring off on the other side to get the other one off. Yep, so 3. ABS ring off next. Wow, I really had to dig deep for a little bit that I had just to fit that. Those 3 torques on there. Not quite the professional tool, but it'll do the job. Got to make do when you got to make do. Right, so that's the ABS ring off. It's a symmetrical design. You can't put it back on wrong. So don't worry about that. So when you come to put it back together again, you'll know only this side on the right hand side of the bike. So has these holes for the ABS ring. So you know this rotor is for your right hand side of the bike. Might see it somewhere as well. They'll give you the rotation anyway. Yeah, this rotation is also, there's a little rotation arrow there as well, which will also tell you that that's got to rotate that way. So now I can take my other disc off. We'll fast forward this bit, or skip it altogether. When I go to put these on, I'll just put a bit of thread lock. And listen, when you get it back, don't worry, because don't forget your hub here as well will also have a directional arrow on here. Here it is, just there, cast in there. So you can't get that hub on the wrong way around as well. Because now you can see, you can't see anywhere where there's been an ABS ring on this side. But there's an arrow on there, so that'll stop you putting that on the wrong way around too. Okay, cool, so that's my front done. So I've got my 2 brake rotors. This is my right, because of the extra holes for the ABS ring. I've got my ABS ring and my left rotor. So I'll just pack those away somewhere safe. I can't get those wrong. So it just leaves me to get this off. We'll get it taken off. What I'll do is I'll put the calipers back on the fork stanchions to take the strain off that cable. Right, and just for a little extra security, I've put those forks on that little chair there. So, you're all done. Time to get the back off. Right, so I have a centre stand. So this rear wheel is off the ground, obviously. So this should come off fairly easily. What I might do though is just put a couple of bits of wood underneath that rear tyre to take the weight off, to allow me to take the spindle out a bit easier. Right, it looks like I'm going to have to do something with these adjusters. That's a little 8mm, is it? Yes. Loosen this axle, fair enough. I've got a socket the other side. I've obviously got to get this forward first to get some slack on the chain, to get that chain off the rear socket. Let's see how we get on with that. Right, let's loosen off this back axle. Yep, not too hard. What's the story with them? Okay, anti-clockwise, tightening them, let's see. Right, so this bit's threaded inside there then. So that's how that adjuster's working. Okay, a little bit different than some bikes. So I want to go in clockwise with my adjuster to push this whole wheel spindle forward. To the other side. So I'm just trying to get my chain off. Right, I'm on maximum the other side. Maximum that side, cool. Have I got enough slack? I have. Excellent, excellent. It's pushing up a bit against that chain guard, so I'm actually going to take that off just to give me some extra room. Cool. That's easy to get off. Yep. Grand. That just makes it a little bit easier to look at. See now, with this wheel supported, this axle's coming out very easy. If it's tough, you've just not supported it. Your axle should come out very easy. Here we are. Nearly there. Cool. Done. Now that rear caliper's loose now. So I'm hoping, yeah. It's looking quite easy at the moment, but this mudguard could flummox me, we'll see. I can take away my boards holding up that rear wheel. Lovely. So all I've done is lost a spacer. I'll put that back in for now. Yep. So that's come out nicely. Lovely. So that's an easy rear wheel to get off. So here's my caliper here, the rear caliper. What I'll do is I'll put this axle bolt back in and then it'll support this caliper bracket and keep that all supported. That was very easy. That'll give me a chance to clean in there a little bit actually. Not that I'm a big cleaner, but while the wheel's out. Easy to see the rear pads there as well. Plenty of air left on those. I'll leave those in. So here we are. That's my rear end. That can be left there for now. So that's my rear wheel off. And I just need to see what I can take off there. So we'll probably take off the disc rotor like we did from the front and that rear sprocket mechanism and mechanism drive. And there's probably some cush rubbers underneath there. That should just all pull out. I'll check that out now. So anything I remove, I'll put back on the axle. So this spacer here, that's going to come out. Yeah, I'm going to put that back on the axle in the same order. So in a few weeks' time, when I come to put the redone tubeless rims on, I shall know exactly where everything went. Right, your rear sprocket and the whole mechanism should just come up. Just put a tiny bit of downward pressure. I don't want to. I've got to remember the disc is on the other side. Cool. That's that off. I'll take these rubber cushions out, but I'll get a good video of that so I know which way. Grand. Well, actually, yeah. You'd struggle to put them in the wrong way, wouldn't you? Great, I'll take those out. So, that's the spacers out. That came away with the sprocket. So I'll just make sure I'll put this back on the axle. It's great while these bits and bobs are out, you can check the bearings in the wheels. Just check them for smoothness. Look, this bike's got very low mileage. I know they're going to be okay. So yeah, they're all good. But why not check them while it's out? On an older bike, definitely. So that's this side done. So I need to take out the disc and the ABS ring as I did on the front. Right, I found a little torque spanner, the right size for the rear. It's the same as the front, but I couldn't find it earlier. So I just take off the ABS ring here, then I can get to the disc and take that off. Exactly the same as the front, really. Last one, cool. Now, just my disc rotor again. Great. Rear off. I'll give that a clean up while it's off the bike. So the only thing I might take out is this, spacer. So I'm going to put that back. In fact, I'm going to put everything back on that rear axle. So once I have the tyre taken off, that's all that needs to go to Bart Factory. Send the minimum amount of stuff as possible. Right, so that's all I can do to the bike now. So what I've done is I put all the screws, nuts and bolts and everything back in their original position. So that's that rear axle built up with the spacers and everything. So this is going to take several weeks to get this sent off and done. So I won't forget about anything. It's all in place. So that's you for a few weeks. With the way postage is and COVID and all that sort of stuff, the turnaround time, DHL and all that sort of stuff is horrendous at the moment. So we'll see how long this takes to get to Italy and back to get these wheels done, made tubeless. Right, you me old fellas, off to the tyre fitters. So that's Coles taking the tyres off of me. They did that free of charge, good fellas. That's where I'll buy my T31s when I get them. All done. Right, that's it, tyres off the rims. So we're ready to ship these out. So I'll just get a box and get this conversion ordered up. For you young'uns out there, this is what an inner tube looks like. Yeah, some weird shit going on here, man. This is what they used to put in motorcycle tyres. Well, they still do some, obviously. So, look. That's the inner tube. You can tell it hasn't had any punctures. It's not been fixed anywhere. So in 3 years, and this is why I wouldn't be worried about having inner tubes. In 3 years, and I think that bike's probably been on the road about 2.5 years, roughly. And 9,000 kilometers. It hasn't had a puncture. So as I say, I don't get too worried about inner tubes. But do look at this. If this thing was ever going to fail, I reckon it would be that inner tube before I got a puncture. That doesn't look well. That doesn't look well at all. So maybe a good idea I decided to convert this to tubeless. We'll see. I'm looking forward to this. Now, I'm in a warehouse environment here, so I have access to boxes and a bander and all sorts of stuff. So I would say if you're sending them off and you don't have access, take the option of letting them provide you the shipping materials. So it's a little bit extra, but I think it's a cheap enough option to buy. So my wheels turned up from Bart Factory. Let's open one up and have a look.